big monkey man. Let me tell you, hugging up the big.
Hey friends, check it out. It's the body of the 1957. It is back after a year of metalwork. Twice as long, 3 times the budget, but it is back and I'm really excited about it. Check it out. Getting ready to test fit it onto the chassis right here, so I thought I'd give a little tour of it. I've called this car a 1957 oval window ragtop for like the last year, but let me explain what I mean by oval window ragtop. So, it has an oval window. These ran from 1955 to 1957. This is a 1957, so this is the last year of them. And it has a ragtop, meaning it's like a large sunroof, really. So they're very rare, they're very hard to find, they don't last a whole lot. But yeah, it's been gone for a whole year, so I thought I'd take you on a little tour of all the work that's been done on it. And let you know the first steps because it's a big day today. So hang tight. Okay, so first I'm here up front of the car and you'll notice this whole front piece is a red color. So this car was in an accident. So this front piece from about right here all the way forward is a donor. So this front clip is what they call it, is actually the nose of the car. That had to all come off and this welded back onto the car. It is not the exact year. So the donor car was a car that was destroyed by a tree falling on top of it that I found down in Tennessee. So the front of it was in good shape. That was from a 1959. So it's a little bit different and there's some subtle differences, but overall, this is a pretty nice match. There's some finesse work that needs to be done to it. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with, at least right now, the way it looks. So let's take a look at the doors and the channels here. So first, what is a really good sign that I'm happy about is this line right here. So as you can see, there's some work that was done here, and this is just some primer to keep it, you know, from rusting. But a nice line right here. So this matches up really well. And that's important because just like your home door, I mean, these things have to be true. They have to match correctly. And as much has been replaced on this car, that was one concern I had when it first came in here, but it looks pretty good so far. So opening the door, you can see we have some new metal here. So these are the channels. These are heater channels that run all the way parallel to the doors. These are notorious for rusting out on Volkswagens. It's common, but they're a little tricky to replace and make sure that the door lines up well. But all indications are it's good, it's solid. The welds look pretty clean, maybe just a little touch-up work that needs to be done. So, I mean, overall, it's a little tingy right now because it's all metal. There's no insulation on it at all. But all indications are it lines up pretty well. So that's looking pretty good too. So I'm hopeful. So inside the car, and hopefully I have some nice before and after pictures I can put here on the video. This car on the driver's side to the rear was in pretty bad shape. I think the story of this car was it sat underneath a tarp, probably outside, and you know, rain probably got into a leak and just came down this side and really rusted this area out. So this is a complete donor piece replacement here, and you can see here, this is some custom metal work, and this just needs to be cleaned up. There'll be some maybe grinding down to make this look a little bit smoother. It looks a little patchy right now, but this will get cleaned up a little bit. And it's been primered just to keep it from rusting. So overall, very solid. But these pieces had to be custom made. I mean, they you know, you can't get these parts off the shelf in the, you know, in a body parts shop. They have to be either custom made or you have to find a donor piece to replace them. So overall, this was a ton of work. You know, of course, you really won't see this in detail, but I want it to look as nice as I possibly can because the passenger the passenger rear seat will be, of course, over top of this. So flipping the camera around, you can see up front here, this is the firewall, this would be the front. That piece had to be completely replaced as well. So that's new, and the nose of the heater channels to either side weld into those new pieces, and there's some patchwork that had to be done up front. So I think overall, I'm happy with the way that's turned out. So what's next? So what has to happen now is here's the chassis. I've been working on that in conjunction with the body being down in Tennessee for the last year. So I need to lower the body behind me here, bring it down and test fit it to the chassis, because you've seen all the metal that had to be replaced on this car. And what tends to happen is, because there's been so much replacement, is these holes that run the length of the chassis don't always want to line up with the holes that are underneath here. So I'll have to test fit it, and then, you know, sometimes what has to happen is these holes have to be elongated, or, you know, you can move it around a little bit. I can take out my welds here and move the frame of it a little bit, and, you know, kind of test fit it. Same with that. As you can see here, this is another bolt that needs to align with the body. So there's been so much work done on the body and on the frame, so much metal that's been replaced. These are aftermarket parts, you know, they're not out of the factory. So, you know, sometimes you just have to finesse things and try to make them work and get them to fit the best that you can. But overall, a big day. I'm excited to have this thing back. For the most part, you know, just checking this out here over the last couple of hours, I'm really happy with the way it works right now. Guys that fixed this were down in Tennessee and did all the work. Check them out there. I'll put the website on my video here. JB Bugs out of Chattanooga. They've also got a location in Indianapolis. So those guys did a lot of work. This car needed a lot of work, more work than I thought. And that's just what happens. You get into these cars, they're just like homes. You know, you tear into the kitchen, you find out, oh my God, the plumbing needs to be redone, and oh my God, the electric needs to be redone, and it goes on and on. It's the same thing. You have to go into these things with your eyes wide open. But right now, the money I've got into it, I'm over budget, but I'm not underwater. So it's all good, and these cars are not going to lose value over the course of, you know, their lives. So I'm happy with where I am right now. We just got to get this thing on the road and running. So next video will be my test fit onto the chassis. So stay tuned for that. I'll talk to you guys soon. See you. Bye.